Who is feeling those sun flares? Yeah. Yes. Feeling the sun flares. Ooh. I learned something new about sun flares last night in lots of different ways. I can't wait to tell you about them. Just going to give a few minutes to see if we can get someone live here. Well, one thing I know about sun flares is stay hydrated. Let's see if we can get anyone over from Facebook onto here. Let's see if we can do that. Let's see if we can do that. Beautiful people, what do you know? Let me know in the comments when you come in. Let me know. Just say hi, who you are, how you found this channel, and like what you know, what you're experiencing with sun flares. Yeah. I think we should be live. Oh, yeah, there we are. Okay. Okie dokie. Share.
Yeah, there we are. Okay.
Let's okay, just trying to get a few people here live. It's more fun doing live streams with people to talk to. Okay. Gonna go to Facebook. Just introduce yourself if you come on in. That'd be great. Live on YouTube. Here we go. Okay. All right, I'm going to post it to one more group and then we're going to get started. Here we go. Come join me. Rube. No, it's not Rube, it's YouTube. All right. I've got some exciting news to share about the download. It was kind of crazy. So stay tuned here. Okay. So that's all on there. See what happens. All right, beautiful people. So maybe we'll get replays. Maybe we'll get some live people. But if we don't, and you're watching this replay, please let me know who you are in the comments and what you know about this topic. So I'm over on TikTok a lot, and I just joined a live last night that was talking about the sun flares, which made me really interested in some of the things that I've been feeling, and also just to learn more about them. So I did Google it. And I did learn that there are different types of sun flares and geostorms. I think they're called geostorms. But what I learned last night is that right now, what's happening is there are like 4 or 5 different types of sun flares. And the X and the M sun flares are the most strong. And right now, those are what we're being hit with. Okay. So what is a sun flare? It's basically like a little storm and like on the sun that kind of makes like these just the sun kind of shoot out like energy. And it really affects us. It affects some of us, and it affects us in sometimes in a positive way in that we are receiving a high frequency, but it also can create ascension symptoms. Ascension symptoms like exhaustion or inability to sleep, dizziness. You might also be very sensitive psychically. You may feel, did I say dizzy? Dizzy, sleeplessness, exhausted but can't sleep. Um, and then the typical ascension symptoms where it's high frequency can start scouring the density, and then you're going to have like lots of like feelings of like ego death or dark nights of the soul, or just agitation, anger, like, a lot of like lower frequency stuff can start scouring and be brought up. And so it's a time of, you can have a lot of reactivity as well if it's your first time getting you know releasing karma and density, so that can come up. um so it was interesting last night because I tried to go to sleep because I felt really tired, but something was stirring, and I got clarity about an energy that I've been feeling for a really long time. And I tried to go to sleep. I really did. And by 1 o'clock, I had to just get up, turn the light on, and just start writing. And look at this, guys. I mean, like, it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's like 7 pages of information that just I was kept writing through. And one of the downloads was very interesting. And I do want to get to that um in a little bit. But first I want to talk about self-care. Hey, oh, I saw someone, but then they just left. Self-care during these times of sun flares. So any type of energy, whether we're in a sun flare or a certain portal opening, or we're in a certain shift, a lot of times shift in quarters can create things. Um, Whenever we're in a high frequency, high energy shift, it's important to take care of ourselves. And I want to just really reiterate that, please stay hydrated. I'm having actually a hard time staying hydrated because it's really dry here in Colorado. You can really see like how no humidity. My hair usually, like when I'm on the coast, is like, and I have this natural wave and fullness to my hair. And lately, this fall, it is like flat. There is no humidity. So, if you are in a high desert, you're gonna have to drink even more water. So hydration will help with these ascension symptoms that are happening with the sun flares. Hydration. And even though it's really hard to sleep during this time of this high frequency coming at us, make sure to take naps. I just took a nap. Do I have my phone here with me? I just took a nap with my dog. I just took a picture because he was so cute. I'll show you guys the picture. It is so cute. We were just, they're not very flattering pictures of me, but he looks really cute. Look at that. I'm sleeping with my doggy. Yeah, you turn 50 and you take some pictures and you're like, wow, that's what I look like. But also when you turn 50, you don't care as much. So it's a positive thing. So guys, take naps because it is very hard to sleep during this sun flare time, especially when we're doing the X and M sun flares. They're the highest and most volatile sun flares for us. So make sure you are getting rest. Even if you can't sleep, take naps, okay? And hydrate. I would also say is have a notebook with you at all times because it's a very high psychic time. All right. I just took 7 pages of downloads last night in the middle of the night. So definitely do that. And if you can, make time for stillness, make time to meditate. Okay. And I know sometimes I say on my channel, like, oh, 5 minutes, whatever you can do. I'm really going to challenge you to do 15 minutes. Can you do 15 minutes of meditation a day, whether it's in the beginning of your day, middle, or right before bed, but 15 minutes of just really tuning into your stillness, watching your thoughts, and then coming into that highest frequency of yourself, okay? Coming into sovereignty with yourself and really just sitting with your beingness will really help. And another thing that I love to do for self-care during these high energy times is vocal toning, because vocal toning will help us to calm the parasympathetic nervous system. It will also help us to clean out the auric field. All right. So at these high energy times, um, things can scour from the subconscious energetically. They can go into here. People are going through their stuff, so we can get hit with daggers into our auric field. So there's just a lot of energetic dynamics. So I would do some vocal toning to clear that out. And we will get to that. Okay. I will do some light language that you can tone along with me, so that we can clear our field and calm our nervous system. Because anxiety, when we're being hit by high frequency, anxiety can really be high. We can feel heart palpitations, right? We can even, oddly enough, even though like energy can be like high energy can really be coming at us, we can start to feel offline or disconnected. There's could be a few reasons for that. Um, and I guess the simplest reason is it's just an adjustment time, adjusting of your frequency. So just be patient. It's going to come back. Things are going to um, adjust, and you'll feel like the connection of yourself with yourself again. Okay, with that your source self. So sunflowers can be kind of tweaky, but I want to go into the download I had. And I don't know what some of you are going to think about this, but one of the things that I got in the download, the 7 pages, that it's time to really speak up to the message that I'm here to be living and talking about. And sometimes I kind of I don't really it's time to just really give it out bluntly, even though it may be not PC or maybe a very different perspective of things. And the thing I want to talk about today, the thing that came through is the term bipolar. Um, a lot came through about bipolar here. Now, I in my life have been kind of like a magnet to bipolar people or people with personality, um, interesting personalities that maybe not diagnosed as bipolar, but um, may seem like they are. So, what the download was saying, and I'm going to try to remember, I might have to refer to this, was that people that are experiencing things that a bipolar diagnosis would say would have they have capacities. They have capacities that are being shut down by medication. Now, I really honor, the pharmaceuticals and that are helping people live productive lives. But I just want to pose a possibility that when people are coming in with bipolar and mental illness and autism and spectrumy type things, they could be people that we just don't understand yet and that have capacities. Now, what I got was that the pharmaceuticals are shutting down the capacities that these people have. Okay. And it's helping them fit into 3D society, and it gives them a normal life. And that's a positive thing. But if the person's awake enough to explore a different possibility of the capacities that they have a huge capacity to focus energy and to be portals and be portals for galactic energies, and also to be anchors for the planet for her ascension. But they cannot be these anchors unless they are aware of their capacities and learn how to run energy properly. One of the things that I got in my download was that form and structure takes away from the capacities of this person that has these kind of bipolar tendencies of lovely and the capacity that I'm talking about. There's a lot of allowance that needs to happen and a lot of stories that need to be processed and unattached. So it's the stories and the forms and the structure that is shutting down the capacities to be the anchors for Earth ascension. And so anchors help to run certain energies. So think about it this way. Um, when there is suffering on the planet, it creates the 3D suffering creates this blanket of density that makes it challenging for the earth. And this is all was all in the download last night. Because of the sun flares, your psychic downloads may really be amped up. I've never even felt it this intensely. It was so intense last night at 1 a.m. And there was so much, and I was trying to take it all down. But so all that suffering energy, that dense energy, that's a blanket of dense energy over the planet. There's a lot of people here as anchors. I'm one of them as myself. We're anchoring, we're helping the earth anchor, and we're running the energy, and we're helping decrease the density on the planet. So, and what we do is we're not necessarily here to help humans as much as we are to help the planet with our ascension process. But in the process, we help humans because by lightening the density of human in the 3D collective, the earth gets to ascend easier. And so, people, particularly with bipolar, this was in my download, have this capacity to do this anchoring and this clearing. Um, One of the things, so one is the pharmaceuticals is shutting that capacity down, and two, drugs like street drugs like marijuana or just regular other harder street drugs really messes with the capacity as well, and it doesn't shut it down. Let me see what I wrote here. The marijuana doesn't shut it down, but it does. Let me see. Um, Anyway, what do you know about the people that are experiencing bipolar tendencies? What capacities do they have for the planet? Do you know anything about that? That came through in this download from the sun flares. I know sometimes I sound like, I don't know what I sound like, but it's just, all right. What does it say here? There is an adjective. Okay, humans themselves. Hang with me. Hang with me. I'm trying to find this. Anyway, I can't seem to find it. It's like 7 pages here. It's almost like it kind of dumbs the capacity down, whereas pharmaceuticals like shuts it all down. So for there is a body of work that I've studied before. It's called Access Consciousness. And if you go to that site, there are tons of people that have been medicated for bipolar and that have had stories. There's testimonial stories on this Access Consciousness site that talks about the work in Access Consciousness has helped them stabilize and not require medication anymore. Now, that's not for everybody, and I'm not saying go do that, definitely. But what I do know is that through access bars, through this process that we do over at Access Consciousness, they decrease the forms and structures of stories. Everything has an electromagnetic field to it. So every story, trauma, thought, feeling, emotion that's made a groove electromagnetically in your neurosynapses can be cleared. And so when people with bipolar, when they clear a lot of the stories and the form and structure, they have this huge sense of being of allowance. Okay. And when that's intact, they're able to really help release the density of the planet and of 3D suffering. There's specific capacities that bipolar tendency people seem to have. So yeah, I should have read over, like, I have a 7-page download here, and these are just the tidbits that I'm remembering from 1 a.m. But it's important. Oh, hey Rebecca, I'm so happy to have caught you live. Hey Anna, I'm so glad you did too. What do you know about the sun flares? Do you know anything about that? We're talking about sun flares and how self-help today. And I received a big download, which was very strange at 1 a.m. I'm trying to share the specifics about that. Have you been feeling anything different with your sleep or with psychic abilities or dizziness or any kind of ascension symptoms with the sun flares that are going on? Just let me know in the comments. Not much at all. I'm excited to learn. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, well, I mentioned that like there's lots of types of sun flares, and right now there's the X and the M sun flares, and those are the most potent ones. Yes, major ascension symptoms. Yeah, so sometimes when we're not aware of like the stuff that's happening cosmically, but you're like, oh my gosh, we're going through a roller coaster ride, and then you realize, oh, there's been some major sun flares. You start putting the pieces together. That's what happened to me last night on TikTok. I realized there were sun flares, did some research on it, and realized we are experiencing the most intense ones. There's like 4 or 5 different ones, and so. Um, yeah, the X and the M ones. But one of the things that I was saying is stay hydrated. If it's hard to sleep, take naps. Really, salt baths are really good too. Whenever we're being bombarded by that high frequencies, a lot of times it scours the density, brings that up, and we start releasing it, and we start raising our vibration. And that's a good thing. Let's see what Anna says. Really upset stomach, and I've been feeling really tired. My dream space has been wild. I need to follow you on TikTok. Yeah, come follow me on TikTok. I'm so active on there because I'm trying to build to 1,000 to have so I can do lives there. So I'm posting there between 5 and 10 times a day. So but honestly, Anna, make sure you're taking care of yourself. So if you're tired, sleep. Like if you can follow your body's awareness, like if you're tired, sleep. Let's get out of our heads around, well, I didn't sleep last night, so I only sleep at night kind of thing during this great awakening and high energy times. Like um, schedules are going to shift and change. Like during these high energy times, if your body wants to sleep and you have time to sleep, sleep and get completely out of judgment over it. And your stomach ache, um, I'm getting that maybe you're dehydrated, Anna. Could you possibly be dehydrated right now? Um, So really try to stay hydrated. And sometimes we have to take a little bit of salt in our water, just a little sprinkle, because that creates an electrolyte and that helps our cells absorb the water into the cells. So sometimes drinking just plain water isn't enough to hydrate. So putting just a little bit of salt and a little bit of like apple juice in there creates this the electrolyte mixed for our cells to really absorb it in. Yes. Okay. Awesome, Anna. Good. Um, so yeah, and so this download, I was talking about bipolar being a capacity, and a lot of mental health diagnoses in this country we have diagnosed as problems and dysfunctions and things like that, because it's really hard to live with people that don't. I've been drinking lots of spring water and herbal tea, but I would definitely increase it. Yeah, and make sure to put the electrolytes in it, Anna. um and so what came through is that our challenges are our capacities. So a lot of the mental health challenges that we're being faced with in the world today, that we're seeing more and more and more of, right? Like how many forms of ADD is there? How many forms of bipolar are there? How many spectrum type diagnoses are we seeing? We're seeing this more and more. And now we're seeing all the transgender mental health stuff start coming up. This isn't mental health stuff. This is the evolution of humanity. And so the challenges are actually capacities. And if we could get really curious about these people rather than trying to fit them into a mold because this is how our life runs better, and really look at the brilliance of them, we're going to find out about human evolution. And I say that really across the board, whether it's schizophrenia, bipolar, ADD, autism, any kind of other kind of spectrum stuff, like all of that, and transgender, I feel like it's all giving us some huge clues about the evolution of our minds, of our brains, the capacity of our brains, and how our light body can function, can start coming into the mix of our capacities as a human being. Like we tend to just look at ourselves as physical beings and our energy body or our psychic abilities kind of separate, guys. But this is we're we're kind of whirling around as this multi-dimensional human being, and all those people that are having these mental health challenges are clues into how we step into the capacities we have as these multi-dimensional parallel universal beings. I really feel that, and that's what was coming through on my download. So, you know, if you're watching this replay or there's two people on here, like, what have you ever been challenged with a mental health diagnosis? I'm just curious. And I know this is a really touchy subject, but um it's an important subject because people are coming in more and more, and we're putting these labels on them, and we're giving them certain medications um, that are shutting down their capacities so they can function in a 3D world better. But we have to get more curious than that. We have to start seeing the magic of how they function, and see what they're going to tell us about 5D living. Hi, Kaylee. Yes, panic disorder, depression, and anxiety. So, Kaylee, yeah, panic disorders and depression. Yeah, I mean, all of this stuff can all of. But I realized I was creating it. Yes, yes, you're creating it. That's amazing. That's really amazing. Yeah. Ascensions, anxiety and depression is a huge ascension symptom. And a lot of times ascension symptoms come up when we have some resistance up. And it's not to point the finger at anybody. It's just like sometimes we don't even realize we're going through the ascension symptom. And honestly, being on my channel and being on YouTube and TikTok in the niche of awakening and ascension, I've learned so much, and it's really helped me to be patient with myself and to let go of the resistance, because 3D collective says you need to be showing up this way, and if you don't, and it creates a lot of anxiety and depression, and it creates a lot of dysfunction in our lives when we start judging ourselves profusely. But if we stop judging ourselves and we just have awareness of what we require right now, and we get out of the 3D way, like structure and form, and we just live by our knowing, it's amazing. The anxiety, the depression, it starts to go away. The panic, it starts to go away. And when we start reprogramming our mind, it starts to go away. And that's why one of the things that I said for self-care tip is make sure you are Mark, thanks for tuning in. So much anxiety. Yeah, so much anxiety. One is you're probably feeling other people's anxiety. So the first thing I would do is just tune in and say, is this mine? And if you're like, this doesn't feel like mine, this doesn't make sense that I have anxiety. So one, you just return it to sender through consciousness. And then two, if it's still there, then start to see, like, what am I trying to fit into that my awareness is trying to give me about taking me in a different direction. Yes, especially at my job. Yeah. Um, that's the thing, guys. We have to be brave enough to one, ask some questions of, like, on TikTok, we ask the questions, what is this? So ask your anxiety, what is this? Whose is it? And then work from there. Yes, exactly where I am. And then two is one, it like the second part is, what's right about this that I'm not getting that might help the situation at work? So you ask the question, you ask your awareness, what's right about this that I'm not getting? And then you might get some awareness, or you might say, is my time here done? Like, is my, it could just be that I have a song called Walk Away, and it's all about the energy is shifted and it's time, my time here is done, whether it's work, a business, a relationship. Is it still light and feeding you, or has it just gone, like the energy just like dumped down and stuff, and you're just like, I can't be here anymore. So it's hard figuring this stuff out. It's even harder to say goodbye when you're like, oh, it's paying the bills. But we have to come into sovereignty and really trust that the next thing is going to be there for us, and it will. It will, it will, it will. I love new music. I'll listen to you. Oh, yay. So I'm going to head into the studio in November. It was supposed to be in October, but it had to get canceled, postponed. But during the pandemic, 6 songs came through, and one of them was Walk Away. So I will definitely be sure to, Mark, I don't know if you subscribe, but be sure to subscribe, and then you can follow when I'll let you guys know in the community page when the music is ready for download. Okay, guys. So especially my job is like, okay, you're speaking. Okay, cool. So yeah, I think what's beautiful about what's happening on the planet right now is that we're starting to realize that we're not crazy, that there's more and more people coming out with ascension symptoms and learning how to follow awareness and learning how to work with their anxiety from an energetic and spiritual way. That we're starting to realize that, we've got capacities here. What my challenges are really my capacities. And that we're here for different reasons, right? What I found out last night was that I am really, really sending you all so much love. Thank you, Rebecca. Catch you later. Thank you. Be sure to check the replay later, because in a few minutes I'm going to give a sound healing, and that might really help your anxiety. So I'll post the live later. So yeah, so I didn't realize we're already at 30 minutes. We're going to get into the sound healing. I do light language, and we're just going to do it. Looks like all across the board, we have some anxiety and some depression. So I think we'll just work with the anxiety for right now. Depression, you've probably heard this, is energy unexpressed, right? So if you're depressed, most likely you're being pressed, right? You're being condensed, contracted. Would you be willing to expand back out and be more of all of you, be more of your source self? And that might mean that, people, places, and things have to switch in your life. But have the courage to expand back out, move the energy. That really helps with depression. So anxiety. So I'm going to get into some light language for anxiety. Now, you can receive this however you want. You can kind of close your eyes and just receive it. Supposedly, light language comes through eyes and movements, so you can keep your eyes open and receive that way too. Or you can kind of start toning along with me. When you tone, it activates your vagus nerve and your parasympathetic nervous system, which is the calming part of your nervous system. So when you're vocalizing, you'll calm down. So your anxiety will calm, but you also start processing denser emotions and like beliefs, emotions, thought patterns, habits. All that is kind of worked out because it has a vibratory response through your whole system, and whatever's alive there gets processed and the energy raises. So that's what we're going to do right now for about 10 minutes. 100%. I'm learning to do that now. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And so really appreciate you guys, Anna, Kaylee, Mark. It's really nice having some people on here live to bounce this also off of, and just to know that we're all going through the same stuff, and we are bright light beings. And I just want to say thanks for your courage. Thanks for the presence of you on this planet. You are help our Gaia Mama just ascend by your presence. So thank you so much. So come on, lean on back, receive this light language, sing along if you want to. We are going to do some processing of whatever Nice to connect with you, Mark. This anxiety is from, so we're going to the root of it with from source here. Here we go. So take a nice deep breath. And whenever you're done doing light language or toning, just be in the new frequency it just provided that you went to and say, yes, I'll have that. Yes, I will have that. So whenever we visit a frequency, the work in our ascension journey is to sustain it. How do we sustain that? Well, one, we know that it's our job to sustain it. We have to ask our body and being to sustain it. We have to bring it in and drink it into the cells, that frequency, and say, and make a demand and a command for you to live from this vibration. And then you got to sense it and feel it with every fiber of your beingness. And then you have to know when it starts to lower. And the minute you feel it lower, you make a tone, you get into meditation, you hug a tree, you do something to come back. Okay, we're no longer wanting the big dips of the roller coaster, emotional, energetic roller coaster from hell. We want to learn to sustain. You know, we're in human bodies. We're going to feel the contrasts. We're going to feel the differences, but we don't want to be a big yo-yo. Okay, so make sure to definitely sustain. Do the work to sustain. And if you want tips, I definitely have a lot of tips, a lot of stuff in my YouTube channel and over on TikTok as well. Just bite size, 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 3 minutes of how to sustain high frequencies. So it's no longer an option, okay, to do sound healing, go to a yoga class and just live off the high for a few hours and then drop back down. Okay, come into your ascension journey, which means that it's your responsibility to sustain that energy until it learns how to sustain and train yourself to that higher frequency. And you're ever expanding, so then you'll go there and then you'll learn how to sustain a higher frequency. So that's the work. That is the work. And I'm super excited. On Monday, I'm launching a class, an online course called Vocal Toning for Manifesting. And it's all about manifesting the energy in your vortex. And really where we go, we manage the gap through finding inner peace, purpose, and personal power. And that's all through vocal toning. So I'm really excited about this course. So if you're interested in that, I will definitely put that in the descriptions. I'm really excited to launch it. All right, we go live every Friday. It's a little different time each Friday, but I pick a topic. Maybe we'll go over anxiety, ascension anxiety. Maybe that'll be a good topic, and I will do that because that seems like a common theme. So yeah, if you have a topic that you'd really like a Q&A around, just like, you know, the 3 or 4 of us were talking about, and it just feels good to have other people say, oh my gosh, I'm going through the same thing, right? And it just feels good to not be alone, right? So please do put the info. Yeah, cool. Oh, that sounds awesome. Sounds delicious. Yay. Oh guys, it's so nice to have someone to talk to on these lives. Thank you so much for being here. 100% learning that. Nice to connect it, of course. We want to appreciate. Oh, sounds like okay. Awesome. So yeah, guys, so I will post that link in all my descriptions and the videos of the new course. And I think next Friday we will do we'll talk about ascension and anxiety and see if I have any downloads about that throughout the week. And please bring anything, because these lives I can work with you. Like we can do distant healing. Like if you have a certain tension in your heart, you know, if you feel anxious and you're feeling it in your throat, like we can work with this. Okay, so whoever's on the live gets the benefit of distant healing. I can do distant energy healing. I can do vocal toning work. We can do Q&A. Let's get to the bottom of this stuff and really like shine. Okay, like the depression and the anxiety and the panic, it's like it's a phase and you don't have to live that way. And if I can help it, I will help you not live that way. And there's a lot of wisdom there too, getting out of those frequencies and out of that resistance. And but anyone that's suffering in anxiety and depression, like I just feel it's a strong desire of mine to offer my services to. So it's time to shine. All right, beautiful beings, have a fun Halloween weekend. The veil is thin and we have lots of sun flares. So make sure I don't always buy into that we need protection, but because we have these huge sun flares going on, and because the veil is so thin, it might be helpful to put some energetic protection up, about using crystal pyramids to do energy healings for yourself. I do not know anything about crystal pyramids. I just use my sovereign connection to source energy at this point in time. But what you can do to protect yourself is create, imagine a dodecahedron, which is kind of, I think my son said it was like 10 10, yeah, decahedron. Yeah, it's 10, yeah, dodecahedron. So it's 10 decahedron, 10 each, 10 pentagons or something like that. But anyway, it's like this multi-dimensional, big kind of structural light shape around you. Imagine that. Imagine that there's a hole in the top and a hole at the bottom, and just imagine it's formed in light. And just you putting that protection, that awareness that you are staying in your high frequency, will keep you from the astral realm. Okay, so when the veil is thin, it just means that the astral realm, fourth dimensional corridor, is closer to us. And it's some people like it because you can, you feel closer to your loved one who's passed if they're still in that realm. Um, but a lot of times we can get kind of like attacked and feel really creepy, feel anxiety from it and stuff. So put the light dodecahedron around you, and wish the astral realm well. As we are raising our vibration, we're kind of going past the astral realm, and it's just kind of creepy in that corridor, and it can kind of lower your frequency. So Halloween's fun. Put your light on and stay away from the astral realm for a little while. Okay. Yeah, Deca is 10. Yes. Okay, Crystal. Yeah, no. Okay. And have a wonderful Halloween. Okay. Beautiful being. Thanks so much for being here. And I will put another video up on Monday. See you later.